Hello everybody, welcome back for another Stitch With Me video. I am working on, let me look and see what it is. It is Pokemon Generation 2. This is by Boris Designing. It's on 28 count Monaco. I'm stitching it 1/1. This is the first full week of all of my children being off school, and it's making it very interesting to be trying to stitch and do everything. And of course they're all awake right now, so I'm trying to get them all to be quiet and chill out. I have a few things coming today that I bought. Love Crafts was having a pretty big sale, and there were quite a few, well, there were a couple Mirabilia patterns that were, I think I paid $8.50 for them that I bought, and they're supposed to be coming today. And then I also bought a backpack to stick my stitching in to carry with me, so that way when I go to the park or anything with my kids, I can take my stitching, so while they're playing around and running around, I can stitch at the same time, because a lot of times I'm sitting on the bench just watching, and every once in a while I would join in and play with them, but for the most part, walking the whole way there wears me out, because it's about a mile from my house, the park that we like to go to. But other than that, it's not too bad. We've so far had a good start to our summer break, our summer vacation from school. Kids are they've been hanging out with their friends and going on adventures and things, so that's always fun to do. Lydia is sitting in the room with me watching, because I guess she thinks this is interesting. We took Grandma Joanne on an adventure this weekend. By my house, there's this, it's an antique shop, and I'm not sure exactly what to call it, but it's called Revived, and they have a bunch of crafters and everything else. It was for Relay for Life this time, and she didn't know what was going on, and then I had mentioned about it, and said that it happens a couple times a year that they have that over there for different sort of things, and I had said, you know, like, we had never went over and checked it out or anything, and I wanted to go over and check it out, and she was like, oh, well, I'm already dressed and ready, like, we can go over there and do that. And she kind of laughed, and she goes, here I am. She goes, you didn't invite me to go along, and I'm just inviting myself. And I was like, absolutely not. You want to go over? Let's go over. I'll take you over. I have no problem doing that. Let's go. Then at least then I have a partner in crime, essentially. So we went over there and did that and hung out for a while. And of course, you're going to hear the clicking of Theo, because I cannot see with the kids and stuff at home. He just doesn't lay down and pick a spot. He likes to run all over the place, unfortunately, but it just kind of is what it is. We're going to do the best we can with what we got. I was going to film this Stitch With Me outside this morning before all the kids really got up and moving around. I'm not showing that. We already showed it. You haven't stitched on it since then. You got to stitch on it.
I was just about to.
Okay, we'll sit down and start stitching on your cross stitch. And the one table that I have that I can set up is actually behind our couch, and my son Damon's friend Tim was sleeping on the couch. So, and I was going to get it out last night before I went to bed, and then was tired and exhausted and forgot. So that didn't happen. And instead this morning I was outside and fed my dogs and took them out to go to the bathroom and stuff, and then noticed that the one part of my flower bed was getting taken over by, I'm not sure what it is, but it looks like grass. And my husband, God love him, where my bird feeder usually goes, Can
I tell him about it?
Not right now. Please go sit down. Where my bird feeder usually goes, it it sits like on a post, and it sits out by our driveway, and someone must have accidentally hit into it, and it broke the one piece of the post off. So my husband, he knows that I like having the bird feeder out there, decided that he was going to re-put it into the ground, and so that way it was still up. And God love him, he put it right next to my flower bed, and the birds and the squirrels and the chipmunks and everything else go nuts and knock the seed out, and a bunch of the seed fell into my flower bed. So all of that stuff was growing in my flower bed, and it looked like grass. I have no idea what it was, but I noticed it this morning whenever I was out there with my dogs, taking them to the bathroom, and I was just like, that's got to be taken care of now. So this morning, instead of recording I couldn't record it anyways, but I entertained myself with pulling all of that grass out of my flower beds, which was a pain in the butt because I'd already mulched for the year, and that's probably what made that seed grow a lot easier, because we haven't had rain in a while. Actually, there's a burn ban going on right now, especially today, because it's supposed to get windy and stuff. So we don't want, it to catch fire anywhere, but laying that mulch down and stuff gave it all the moisture and everything else, because I've been having to water my flower beds, so that moisture in there made all that stuff grow. And I just came out this morning and it looked like I had a lawn in the one corner of my flower bed, so that had to come out. And I mean, once I came outside and I noticed where my husband had put the pole to hang our bird feeder, I was like, it can't go there. It's going into the flower bed, and I'm gonna have a mess. And so we moved it so that way when they knock the seed and stuff out, it doesn't get into the flower bed. But it was just kind of frustrating because you have to move all the mulch and all that fun stuff to get it so that way it didn't ruin things. So right now, this is what I tend to do. I don't know why. I don't know if I can show you this. So I have a bunch of these completed up here. There's a whole bunch that are completed up here. But I don't know why I decided to switch around and start doing the bottom. I don't know. But I did. But I like to go and do their outlines first, and then, because I forget how many colors this project has in it, but it's over over 100 to the point where floss drops just was insane. So I just took cardstock and stuck holes in them, and I mean, I don't even know how many are here, but there's a ton here. But I just took cardstock and wrote the numbers of what it is on here, and then the colors attached to it, because there's so many colors, and this is just one strand of floss stuck on here because there's too many colors, and the pattern to find out which color you're working for is a pain in the butt. So I'll go and do a pretty large swatch of these outlines, and then pick a color, and then go through all the ones that I've already outlined and stitch those in, because otherwise I'm going to lose my marbles trying to get it all done. This is all kinds of willy wonky today. There we go. So we're just stitching outlines for these Pokemon right now. What is that on there? Don't know what that was, but there we go. What do you want, Lydia?
Can I tell them about my tooth?
Sure, you can tell them about your tooth. But you're going to have to speak up pretty loud.
So, I was at this is about my tooth that I accidentally have swallowed. So, I was at my aunt's house on Sunday. This happened Sunday. And I was eating a watermelon, and my tooth accidentally came out. I didn't know, and when I go to swallow a watermelon, I accidentally swallowed my tooth with it, and then I went up to go wiggle my tooth, and then I felt it wasn't there. I started crying because I didn't know, and then I started writing a note to the tooth fairy, but then I have lost the note, so I had to create one at my house, which is where we are now. And I had to wait another day because the tooth fairy did not give me money that one day, which is the night of it. It was either because someone was awake or she was busy, or he. And so this night, yesterday night, I went to bed, and then this morning, I found $1 under my pillow. The note was still there. It was folded up differently. So the tooth fairy came and saw the note, so she gave me money. And that's all about my tooth. I'll see you another time.
I'm sure we'll get more stories from her. She likes to talk. Okay, now I gotta figure out where I was right here. But, yeah, Lydia lost a tooth.
And I accidentally swallowed it.
Yep, you swallowed it.
But it's not my fault. I haven't done it before.
It happens sometimes. It's not a big deal.
Just like my friend accidentally swallowed his tooth whenever he was sleeping.
Yep. So, it doesn't want to hold still. It won't let me attach it. It wants to run for the hills. Stay where I put you, darn it. Don't you go anywhere. There we go. Now she's on there. Wanted to argue and fight with me there for a second. Actually, we're gonna pull this up here. Okay. You can tell my children's friends are here because yet again my stand was all screwed up. But I fixed it now. Whoop. I didn't want to take that out. Theodore, go lay down. He's getting excited because the neighbor kid is out on the porch too. My house is the happening place to be for a bunch of kids. I think yesterday, I forget how many children were here that were all hanging out and playing and having fun. Doesn't matter to me any. I don't mind. I gotta tighten. I don't really mind. I just gotta make sure that I do these videos and stuff in the mornings so that way we can hopefully get some things done and not have so much stuff going on. Hopefully this all meets up the way it's supposed to be. We will find out here in a bit. We are right here. This, I was able to put it into Pattern Keeper, but it doesn't recognize the colors or anything. It doesn't recognize any of the symbols, so it all gets stitched out in one color. And I need to make sure that that's 1, 2, that is 3. So I still have to, I go through and essentially highlight whichever color I'm working on, which is a pain in the butt. It'd be so much easier to stitch this if I could get it to work on Pattern Keeper, but it's fine for now. This at least it's there and I'm not dealing with a paper pattern. So I suppose I will take it. But really, honestly, not too much has been happening other than school is officially out now, which makes filming these videos a heck of a lot harder. And I'm gonna have to probably just get my other table out and film them first thing in the mornings outside, so there's not so much interruptions, which means I need to pull the table out that I want to use. So it is where I need it to go. Alrighty. That is it for that one. I just realized that I forgot to pull out the key I need to even get the different colors. Alright, mark those stitches off. Is there anything else down below here? There are some Pokemon balls, but I think I stitched all the ones in that line. Just give me a second here because I gotta reorient myself on where this goes. So we are gonna go with, it is line 50. So 50 and 330. So 50, 330. 30, 50, and I need to go in right here. So we can get the next outline started. Okay, got it. Now we go down and over to 1, 2. Gotta make sure I know where I'm at because I don't want these all cattywampus, and there's so many of them that you have to make sure you're sure of what you're doing. Okay, and then up 2. So how have you guys been? What have you guys been up to? Is there anything interesting going on in your life? Is school still going for you, or is school out now? I need to start making a, like, bin that I can put stuff in that if I bought it that month, that it can go in that bin, or like make some sort of a note somewhere of what I have bought and what I haven't bought that month. Because by the time it comes to doing those update videos, like I forget some of the stuff that I've bought and purchased. I'm just a forgetful person. I think it's hereditary. There's no doubt about it. Alright, I gotta cut this starting thread off because it's driving me nuts. Oh, where was I? Right here. But yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to get these outlines here done. You go 1, 2, 3 that way. And then once I get these, I'll essentially do all these ones here. And then once I get those outlines done, then I will go through and put all the color in and then move it up and work some color in here, because I feel like if I did all the outline at one shot, I think I want to pull my hair out. So do quite a few of them and then work through it. So, just is what it is. Oh, my Epic Disney Sao. I am officially working on the original Sao. It had 2 left out. If you see, I think I've sent. I'll pop up a picture over here of what it looks like finished. And you'll notice that, like, down at the bottom, there's the two pieces missing. There's nothing to stitch there in that frame. But anyways, in that frame, I'm working on the last one that they have charted there, which is Brave. So I'm feeling pretty confident that I should be able to get that done by November. So, and then there's 4 other patterns that they have already charted that you can pick and choose on which ones you want to stick in there. And they have Alice in Wonderland, Pinocchio, Encanto, and Raya and the Last Dragon, which are all in mine because we love all those movies. And Pinocchio's already stitched on there because I needed to stitch him for... It was getting the gauge of something, but I don't remember what it was because it's been so long ago that I did that. And so as soon as I finish with Brave, then I'll put in like Alice in Wonderland, Encanto, and Raya and the Last Dragon, and then I'll start putting in the ones that I've charted for myself. And I still have not taken the time out to chart the ones that I need to chart yet, the ones that are left, and I might see if I can knock maybe one out today. If I can get one done today and maybe just keep doing one the next couple days, then I should be good to go when it comes to I would like to have all the ones that I need to chart finished before I even start having to do the process of starting to stitch those onto pieces. So onto the piece. So I'm hoping that I will 1, 2, 3, 4 get them all charted before I start working on the ones that I charted for myself. And there's not too many that I have left to do, considering where I started from. And it's more so like doing the research and trying to make sure that the colors I'm using are the right colors that I want to use and things like that, to make sure that that the characters are easily recognizable, because I mean, it's a Disney movie, the characters are easy to recognize. So it's just the process of making sure that I get what I want and going through it all, which sometimes is a pain in the butt. And like there's also like the research, because those are designed like for a certain size. So making sure that I have enough characters that it all fits in there pretty well, or if there's a lot of characters in the movie, picking out which ones are essentially I don't want to say the most important ones, but sort of the ones that are the main focus, so that way, if you didn't see the name that's written on there, like, how I have like Aladdin and then the year it was produced and released and stuff like that, if you didn't have that you could easily see it and recognize, what movie it is. But We'll find out. I'm getting ready to come to a spot where I can double check and make sure that this is all still aligned the way it's supposed to be, and I don't think it is. Because Pooey. Okay, start here. That's aligned right. And then we want 1, 2, 3, check. 1, 2, and then we went down 2, down 4, then over 1, 2, 3. Oh, I see where I made the mistake. See? This is such tiny stitching, and it's so hard to frog. I think every time I do a Stitch With Me video, I make a mistake at some point. Which, it's not easy to sit here and talk and read a pattern and count and make sure you're staying in line with what you need to do. I think for me, it's probably a little easier for me because I'm like constantly stitching, and my husband will talk to me, and sometimes I'm talking on the phone and or things like that. So I get kind of used to doing it, but on these ones where you really need to pay attention, it tends to be I tend to make mistakes here and there. I don't worry about it though. This is where I made the mistake though, but I caught it. I'm always with this one, because I'm stitching the outlines, I use the grid that I've put on here as a reference, so that way I can judge and make sure that everything is staying lined up, so that if I'm making boo-boos, it's there. And if you hear that funny noise in the background, Lydia is playing with her 3D pen. She's creating stuff. You can show them that.
This is what my mom made. She made it for me, and it's very cute.
She's always a busy beaver. I got it in something, but I don't remember what it was. It was something I ordered, and
Mom, it was beads.
I think it was the clamps for my the frames that Dad makes for me for my stitching.
Yeah, it was.
And it was
some beads in it.
Yep, and it was in there. It was just kind of like a little gift that you could get to stitch, and it turns out to be a magnet whenever you're done. And then once I finish these 2 stitches here, I want to count everything and make sure I'm staying where I need to be. So there is 1, 2, 3 stitches in between there and there, and that's exactly where I need to be. So we're still doing good. We're making progress. I know, not much of a fun, exciting Stitch With Me video for you guys this time, being I'm, you know, just doing black outlines, but I use Teresa Little Stitcher's project tracker that she puts out pretty much every year, I think. But I know you can just take the one that she has and you can just change the date and it'll adjust everything for you. And wait a minute, that's wrong. And I was putting in the dates and stuff that when I've stitched on certain things, and I noticed that there were quite a few that I hadn't stitched on, so I was like, alright, it's time to start getting into the bin of whips and start pulling out things that I haven't worked on, which is why last month In Harmony got pulled out, and then this month I'm pulling out Epic Pokemon, and there's going to be a couple others that I'll pull out to stitch on. I lost my place somewhere. There I am. For a second. So that, because I like to touch every single whip I have. At least once a year, because there's like Candy Cane Santa by Dimensions that usually I only work on that during Christmas time. So that's done, and I picked out. So when I was doing my update video, my friend Coral, as I was pulling all the whips out and unrolling some of the frames and doing everything I needed to do to get everything ready to record that video, she was here with me. She's a groomer, and one of the dogs didn't show up, so she was here with me, and she was just came over to hang out. So while I was doing that, I was unrolling, a lot of my Bella Filipina and Mirabilia ones that I had worked on, and she thought they were really neat, and she really wanted one, and she had told me, when you finish one of these, like, I'll pay you good money. And it was like, well, these ones are the ones I want, but, and I told her to go on to, like, 123 Stitch and Lovecraft and the different websites that carry their patterns, and I told her to go through and, pick out which ones are her favorite ones that she really likes, and then just to send me links to them so I can pick one, and I'd stitch her one for her birthday. And I told her, if I already have the pattern or whatever, I can just stitch those for you. You just have to buy the beads and the floss and the specialty threads and things like that. Because if I already have the pattern, I can just stitch it for you again, but it'll need to be you'll just need to buy the stuff that I'll need. And I told her, let me go through like all my beads and everything else first before a lot of times there's a lot of stuff that's extra left over, so let me go through that stuff and see. But she had picked out a couple of them that she likes, and there were 2 of them that I do have the patterns to. But I told her, that I picked one out for her birthday, and it's Mirabilia's Raven Queen. One, I didn't have the pattern for that one, but 2, it was one of the ones that she really liked, and because Lovecraft was, I think they're moving warehouses or something, so they've got everything on pretty steep discount and things like that, so I was able to buy the pattern for that. I think it was only $8.50, so I'd call that a pretty good deal. So I will be getting that in soon, and I will have to start collecting the fancy floss and the beads for that pattern soon. So in no time I will have that next. And start that for her, but it was really cool. But I told her, if she wanted me to stitch all of those, she'd have to buy the pattern and all the floss and stuff like that. And I told her, I can tell you what fabric to get. You just need to get the white fabric, because I'll just dye the fabric myself. At least if I do it, I have an idea of what I want. And 1, 2, 3. I can go through it and dye it myself because I don't think I do a bad job at dyeing the fabric and stuff, so, and it's cheaper just to get white fabric, and I can judge what I want to do on it. But I think I will try and finish this second dude here, the second little Pokemon, and then I'll call this one done. So that'll be 2 of them that we've got. 2 more that we got stitched in, and I think there's only 1 more that goes right here. And then I'm gonna need to get the thing out so it can tell me what symbols mean what color. Because when I pulled this out, I forgot to get that out. I gotta cut this little thread off here though, because it's gonna drive me nuts. It will drive me nuts. You guys probably can't even see the thing, but I see it, and it's bugging me. And this is, nope, something's not right here. Because that shouldn't be that close. Oh, pooey, where am I? We go down 1, 2, 3, over 3, and then we have the 1, 2, because this shouldn't be sitting on this line. That's what it is. I did 1 too many stitches here. I constantly make mistakes. Yep, figured it out. But I like how I have so many, with my gridded fabric, whenever I grid my fabric like this, I like how I have so many reference points. So that way I can make sure I'm not going to screw it up. Because as you can see, had I not known, double check that there, I would have been carrying on stitching, and then it wouldn't have met up, and I would have been like, where did I go wrong? So I can usually find my mistakes pretty quickly and easily because I'm constantly double checking the reference against the pattern, against the grid lines that are on the pattern to the grid lines that are on my fabric. And I can notice pretty fast when something is off, because whenever I get close to any of these lines or anything, I'm looking at the pattern and counting how many stitches away it is and making sure that things are lining up the way that they are supposed to be, because it happens all the time that, as you can tell, that I make mistakes.
It's okay, Mom. Everyone makes mistakes.
Yep, nobody's perfect. That thing is driving me nuts, Lydia.
I'm sorry, I'm only trying to create something.
I know. That's why I'm not telling you to stop. I know you're creating your own stuff.
That's what you always told me to do.
Yep, it's fun to make things. Father's Day, I believe it's next weekend or the weekend after that. So we got to figure out what to do for my husband for Father's Day. He says, I don't want anything. I don't need anything. Okay, but you make it hard to figure out what the heck to get you.
I already made something for him.
You made something for Dad?
Yeah.
Is it big?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a picture.
Cool.
black and blue like Dad told me that are his favorite colors.
Yep. Slowly getting things done.
Well, maybe you should make that a cross stitch.
No. But I love summertime. Summertime is my favorite. The only thing that drives me nuts is I have to clean my house 800 times a day because my children are mess makers.
Especially when we go swimming.
Well, you guys eat your lunch, and I don't know how, but it's like they leave a large mess out in my kitchen every time. And it's not like they're like leaving like the bread out or like things like that. It's just like they have like a mountain.
Like if we have Lunchables, like there would be cheese, pepperoni, and stuff on the table.
They get crumbs everywhere somehow. And I want to double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, there's 5 stitches. And then we need to do 2. So I'm constantly cleaning up that kitchen from them, getting snacks and lunch and breakfast, and they have our living room is like I don't know, everybody like congregates in the living room, and they're constantly, I don't know, it collects their things, and it irritates me to no end, because I'm constantly having to tell them, like, this stuff needs to find its home where it belongs, and it's not in my living room, or it's going to go in the garbage. Your choice. And they
But it's
usually,
something that we really hate, we just leave it there. So that way you could throw it away.
but why can't you throw it away?
I don't know.
You don't think to do that?
No, we think you do it because that's what you said. You said, or I'm going to throw it away. So,
Oh, okay.
that's what you did to the last time to me. Because you said, I'm going to throw it away.
Okay. I'm gonna, you're right.
Plus, even they could tell you that you did. Mom, look, I made a triangle with squares in it.
Yeah. But yep. So now we just got to figure out how we're going to do these videos and stuff without everybody getting in the road or being in my way. It shall be an interesting feat for the next couple months.
Mom,
But I'm
are
sure
you going to take us swimming?
not today. It's not going to be warm enough out today, honey.
Well, is it going to be tomorrow?
No, it's not supposed to be very hot out this week.
But what about
Damon, please, I'm recording a video. Walk down the stairs quietly. And if you're listening to anything, it needs to be in your ears.
Ooh, I should make this a ring.
But slowly getting stuff done. Lydia, I'm going to ask you one more time to be quiet, please. But I just want to finish this one little guy with you guys. And I'm almost there. He's almost completely finished here. He's not much more to go. Look at this cute little elephant. I love that thing. Theo. Oh man, these kids, they move and then both dogs are like, it's time to go crazy. It's time to run around and do all kinds of stuff that I know I'm not supposed to, but I'm going to do it anyways. And this is up 3. 1, 2, Theo, 2,
Theo.
and that is 3. But last week was like really hot out. The one day I got up to, I think it was 93 degrees. I mean, it was ridiculous. Really hot out, and especially for like June. Those are temperatures for like very end of July, beginning of August. So I guess we will see if it's gonna continue to be that warm out or what it's going to do. 1. But this guy here is almost complete. We got 2 more stitches to do. And as long as he matches up, which it looks like he's going to, that is it. His outline is stitched. He's done. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Like and subscribe if you want to. And I will see you guys next week.
Bye.